can I do for you?
Yeah, so I had a question. I've been dating this guy for about a month and a half. So far we've only had 2 dates. We're supposed to have a date this weekend. We both work crazy schedules and stuff like that.
Right.
But so we've been hitting it off, but the only thing I have an issue with that I'm kind of like skeptical. He has a female best. Oh, sorry, I have to answer this. I'll try to come back on live later.
Okay, that's fine. All right. What do you think she was saying? She was saying that the guy she's dating has a female best friend. That doesn't bode well, right? What's up, Jay Severa? What's up, Knuckles? Yes, I want to take a break from the marriage. I feel it's inconsiderate. Oh, how long have you been married, Amanda? What's up, Tay? Yeah, how long have y'all been married? That's what I'm curious about. 3 years. Okay. I'll tell you this, love. It doesn't sound like you're taking marriage seriously. Now, it does sound like, there's issues to iron out. He probably did something wrong, but saying you want to take a break from the marriage, that's not how marriage works. You don't take breaks from marriages. Y'all aren't boyfriend and girlfriend. Y'all are married. You didn't get some pancakes. And you're like, I want to take a break from the vows that we made. Mm-mm. That's a bigger red flag than him not making you breakfast. You wanting to take a break from the marriage over this is a bigger red flag than him not cooking you breakfast. I'm making breakfast every day. Why is it a problem if I don't on my graduation day? Yeah, that's something y'all should work out. He's not right for that, but you wanting to break over that is crazy. That's a bigger problem. That's a much bigger problem. If you want to take a break over that, y'all might as well get divorced. Okay, people, if you have any questions pertaining to dating and relationships, you can request up, call in, I will answer your question. You can also leave your question in the chat. Just be advised that callers get first priority. They also get better answers. So if you really need an answer, I would call in. All right, where are the questions at? I know we got a lot of lurkers, but we need some questions because I will get off of here. I'm already tired tonight. So if we don't have any questions, I will go to bed. Okay, so what questions do y'all have? After ceremony, got lunch for him and my mom. Didn't take mine because I didn't want to eat salad. Okay, Amanda, you can stop talking about this issue. I already gave you my answer, love. No matter what you say, that it's a huge red flag that you want to take a break. CJ, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. What's up with you?
That Benadryl getting you prepped for the snooze fest that Iceman's about to be tonight?
Hey, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, man. I'm still tired. I was like, oh, Benadryl does make you drowsy, doesn't it? I was like, and I'm still drowsy right now. It's been all day. But you have to understand, I took Vyvanse as well. So I take a stimulant with Benadryl. It's weird.
Man's head was on Mars. Right, then. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a weird day. We're making it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask this yesterday, and I didn't really feel like asking it today, but I figured you throw it into taking a little nap, so I figured I'd ask. There was a question yesterday that somebody asked. There's some guy, and he was talking about, I think he said he didn't have really the problem approaching. It was like, I think he was talking about how he gets in his head once the conversation gets started. I
Right.
think, do you recall that?
Yeah.
And so that kind of made me think about how when I go on dates, it was kind of like the similar thing. You were saying how like with Hinge or like online dates for him, you kind of already establish a sense of attraction. So like that risk is out of the window.
Right.
So you can kind of be a little bit more focused on the date itself. And I find myself to have that issue as well. I feel like once I get you on the date, I'm good. And like, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but like I typically, once I get a date, I usually get a second date.
Right.
At least a second date. Usually 2 or 3, and then a lot of times I'm ending them. So I don't think keeping or like maintaining like a connection is the hard part for me. It's really the initial phase.
Right.
So what I was gonna ask is, if I'm like that, where I feel like I'm my best self, like already on the date, because I think that's like when I'm my most like charismatic, my most self. How do you maintain that in like other aspects, in like the initial phase, the approach phase, and even in just like a general sense of like more other domains of your life?
It's essentially just nervous system adaptation, right? That's essentially what, like, if you're like lifting weights, trying to lift very heavy weights, what is limiting you is not your muscles, it's your nervous system. That's why you can see like guys who are like small, who aren't really as built or jacked, can outlift or lift as much as like the jacked guys. They condition their nervous system to handle that load. So what you're ultimately struggling with is a capacity to hold tension. So remember, tension is the gap between the known and unknown, right? So when you're on a dating app and you match, you now know that she's attracted to you. Therefore, tension has been reduced and you can express yourself. When you're approaching someone, you don't have that clarity, so there's more tension there. And your nervous system is not conditioned to hold it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So it's really just probably with those situations, kind of taking a step back mentally at least, maybe taking like a deep breath and then like going from there.
Yeah, just being okay with things not going like perfectly, right? Like the way that you condition your nervous system in the gym is you just progressive overload. You just lift heavier and heavier weights, right? This is a similar function when it comes to social skills. Just go and talk to more women, right? You want to live on that edge. So the biggest problem with a lot of men nowadays is they don't understand masculinity. Because now, like, the culture is trying to condition us that all of these things are just societal constructs, right? But masculinity is increased by challenge and taking more responsibility. So the most masculine men you know probably take on a lot of responsibility. To be a leader is just to take on more responsibility. Thus, it increases your masculine essence, right? So
Correct.
So you want to live on your edge. Everyone's trying to be comfortable right now, right? So in order for you to grow as a person and grow in your masculinity, you have to keep expanding your comfort zone. The only way to expand your comfort zone is to spend as much time as possible on your edge. Not beyond your edge to where you're overwhelmed, but just at your edge, right? So you want to look for ways to be on your edge daily, because your edge changes. Because as you stay there, it expands, and your edge becomes your comfort zone over time, right? So
just expanding the capacity.
Expanding the capacity, 100%. So like you want to embrace that tension, and know that like if just simply changing your mentality. I was talking to Danny about this the other day. If he just like reframes his dealings with women that he dates as like just preparation. Everything is practice for the big game. The stakes aren't as high. He's a little bit more detached. He can hold the connection more loosely instead of clinging to it, right? Similarly, if you look at approaching women as just like you conditioning your nervous system, you just building your capacity, you change what the game is. Right now, the game is I need her to like me, or I want to win her over. Now the game becomes I'm just doing something hard for the sake of getting used to doing hard things so that this becomes comfortable for me.
Yeah, I think I definitely relate to that because I've been doing that and it's been helping me.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I go to these like events solo,
Mm-hmm.
I like obviously ideally I want to go to like a girl and like try to talk to her and get it over all that stuff. But I started off by like breaking it down into smaller goals. So I think the first time I went, my goal was to like just give a compliment to someone walking
Right.
by.
Right.
And then that gave me the inkling to like start a conversation. I was like, oh, I did the hard part. I did the compliment. That was the most scary part. Now I can kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time I do these things, it kind of helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I'm still in that mode. Cause like one of the last events I went to, there was a girl in front of me. I thought she was cute, but I didn't really want to like holler at her. I just kind of wanted to start a conversation. That was the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept blocking myself. I was like, oh, she's probably gonna think I'm annoying her. Like I was just looking for any and every excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a girl standing behind me, and she was talking to another girl, and I heard her say, "Hey, did you come by yourself?" And she was like, "Yeah, I did." Oh, and then they had their little conversation. I was like, "It's literally that freaking easy."
Mm-hmm.
So I went up to the girl, I was like, "Hey, did you come by yourself?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then we had a little conversation.
Right.
Ended up getting her Instagram after, but like nothing's gonna come of that because it's just platonic.
Right.
But like doing those kind of things gives me more confidence within myself that I am capable.
Right. Exactly. You need evidence. Right. Like you can't just psych yourself out mentally. It's like you have to have evidence. I was thinking about that today. Like you have to have some sort of reference experience. A peak reference experience. Like for me, I remember before I viewed myself as someone who had any kind of like skill set with women, I remember my junior year of high school, we went on the trip called FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, right? And we went to Greensboro, North Carolina. So all these people from North Carolina like went to the same hotel. No supervision, by the way. No supervision. I'm like, how nobody got pregnant? I have no idea. I was 15? No, 16.
Oh, okay.
16. So I was my junior year. And so we had like hotel rooms. Me, my homeboys had hotel rooms. And like the teachers there was no supervision. But, you get to a new environment where nobody knows you. You can kind of like experiment with your identity a bit. Right? So I remember engaging some of the women there. And then before I knew it, there was like 15 girls in our room. It was just me and 3 of my boys to a room. We had like 15 girls there. So I'm like talking to them the same way I talk to y'all on this live. My homeboy was actually the ladies' man in school because he played like multiple sports. But here, in this environment, they were coming for me, right? So I remember like even like the head girl was like, she was calling more girls to the room. She's like, yeah, we're in Mark's room, right? We're in Marquette's room. And my homeboy was like, no, fuck that. This is Chaz's room. And I just looked at him smirking. I was like, not today, big dog. It's a different environment. So that peak experience like carried me for a while. You know what I mean? It's important to have some sort of peak experience where it's like a flash of what you're capable of or what could be capable or possible in your reality.
That's what I feel like my dating experience has been over like the last 2 years or so since I've been single. Because my ex was like my first everything. So I kind of...
Your recent ex? Like your last ex?
I've only had one girlfriend. I was with her for like 5-6 years almost.
Okay, all right.
So after that, it was kind of like a external thing where it's like, okay, I just need evidence that like that wasn't a fluke. and then from there, everything since then has just been further evidence that okay, I'm not insufferable. I'm not undesirable. Like there is something about me that is, because as much as you can have that within yourself, I think you kind of need a little bit of external reassurance for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what my experience has been so far. But now I'm kind of just getting into the place where I just want to be able to take everything I know and then use that to have better discernment and better selection.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, so now you're outside of like the generating evidence phase. Now it's just a matter of like, like I said before, conditioning that nervous system because it gets easier. It gets easier the more that you do it. Like anything hard, right? The more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more it becomes, you like kind of assimilate it into your comfort zone or expand your comfort zone to include it, right? So, yeah, it's just a matter of like if I told you you had to approach 20 women to get over this and make this a non-issue, you would probably do that as soon as possible, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd be
Right.
more likely to. I mean, I'd still probably find a way to chicken out, but like, I'd be more privy to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it will be guaranteed. Like, okay, if you just approach 20 women, like, you're guaranteed to never have like this level of nerves, these intense nerves again. But that's actually true though. It's actually true. I told a homeboy of mine, he used to make skits, he used to make videos, and I remember he was not being consistent. I was like, bro, what if I told you that you're 50 videos away from like doing this full time? I was like, how would that change your process? He was like, I will make all 50 tomorrow. I'm like, right, that's how you got to think. So for you, it's like, just go and get a lot of approaches under your belt so you don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, it's like a thing that like also like goes into other domains of my life, just socially in general. Because like I'll have a conversation like with a longtime friend, and then a lot of times I'll say like something like I'm insecure about or like something like I struggle with, and they're always like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that's how I like there's a lot of like insecurities there, but." They don't understand it because I have to explain to them. I was like, that's because y'all know me and I'm comfortable with y'all. So y'all get to see like the real version of me versus me like at first when I'm a little bit less sociable, a little bit more shy.
Dude, that assume rapport approach works wonders. I tell you what I do, right? And this is social. It's even about approach because I have not done a ton of cold approach. I've never needed to. But I will tell you this, assume rapport works wonders. What I do socially, whenever I'm intentionally trying to be social, I would think about how I feel around my friends, right? Because when you say you're comfortable with your friends, there's a feeling that you associate with that. Feel that right now. Feel how you feel around your friends. Okay? You got the feeling?
Are you asking me to like describe what the feeling is?
No,
or
I'm asking
like,
you to just to do it. Just conjure up that feeling that you have when you're around your friends. Y'all are laughing and joking.
Okay, I'd say it's like comfortability.
Okay. So then after you generate that feeling, then do it. Now think about it. I want you to actually feel it right now. Not describe it to me, just feel it. And then go approach people with that energy. That's what I do.
You can like frame it.
Right. It's just being intentional. So I would conjure up like a very playful vibe. Like I'm very playful with my friends, right? So I would intentionally feel playful, and then I would talk to people from that energetic state.
So it's kind of like the inverse of like the advice for like anxious attachment, where you say don't act on any of your anxieties. It's kind of like put that feeling in your body, the good feeling, and then act on that.
Yeah, just being intentional. That's all it is. People they're not intentional about life in general. Like you're just being intentional about how you're showing. All you're saying is like I'm gonna be intentional about how I show up in this social interaction, which you've probably never done before. You've just defaulted to like a shy identity. But you can just decide not to do that, and you probably never in your life have done that. So you just before you get there, you just decide, okay, How do I feel? I want to show up this way because that's how I am with my friends. What's the feeling I associate with being around my friends? Okay, not what the label is. Fuck the label, just the feeling. And then you get the feeling, and then you just move from that state. Because the feeling is what animates you, right? So it's like when you're shy and reserved, it's because you feel shy and reserved. You don't feel comfortable, therefore you act like you're not comfortable.
Makes sense.
Just do it. Worst wonders. I could be in like a very like blah state, and then because then it takes life of its own. Because then you get there's a book called The Winner Effect. Whenever people respond positively to you socially, your brain releases more dopamine, which then puts you in somewhat of a flow state, right? Probably experienced that like when you maybe you go to a social environment, you're probably being shy, and then you just happen to talk to someone, you make them laugh. That now you're at ease. Now you're funnier. Now you're more charismatic. Now you're more like sharp because your brain just saw that positive reaction. It saw that as a signal that we're safe here, and then it just allows you to release more dopamine, which then made you more upbeat and locked in. Not to nerd
Yeah.
out, but that's how it works, right? And I know that, so I take advantage of it. I tell clients like if they're going to a venue, I say talk to people on the way to the venue.
Yeah, I've seen that advice
All
before
right, so
too.
you just kind of collect like these micro positive experiences, and then by the time you get to the venue, it's like you're already on. You got to be on when you get there. There's so many hacks you can do. I used to like whenever I entered a room, I would smile, like especially nightlife. I would smile as I entered. Not smiling at anything, I'm forcing it because I know that people see me, and if they see me smiling, that's their first impression of me, right? Which impacts how receptive they are. There's so many tricks, but like it's unnecessary. That assume rapport married with like generating the feeling that matches the vibe you want to have for the night is all you really need.
Okay. I'm gonna try to put that into practice.
And then when you get there, you gotta engage somebody as quick as possible. Worst thing you can do is go into a venue and then like like be a wallflower.
Right.
Because then you'll crystallize the identity for the night. If you make it your goal to like talk to someone immediately, then you generate momentum.
Right. And then it even works like in the inverse where like you're perceived that way. So like if you're standing on the wall and people are watching you standing on the wall, like, oh, that guy's been at the wall all day.
That's the worst thing
Like
guys
so
do. They
Yeah.
go and they stand at the wall. They'll go right to the bar. Right to the bar. Or the worst thing is if there's like a TV there, they'll look at the TV. Oh, they're going. Once you look at the TV, it's over. It's a wrap. Once you start watching the game, it's a wrap. You gotta go in there and talk to people.
Right.
And every second counts. Micro assessments are being made. People are already like putting you in the pecking order. Where do you exist in this hierarchy? In the first couple of seconds that you get there, you come in, you smiling, and then you start engaging people immediately. They're now placing you unconsciously like higher up the ranking. It's all a game, it really is. What I'm giving you is a hack. So it's like it's a cheat code because most people, which I love, don't know any of this shit. They don't care to know it, and that is my advantage. Is that I do. So now you do. You just gotta apply it.
Yeah. Most definitely. Well, I will take all of those things into consideration and practice more importantly.
There we go. I was about to say. I hope you were going to take action.
Yeah. Can't think your way out of every problem.
Exactly, man. You gotta do it immediately. That's one thing that I've been different about in my entire life than most people I know is like when I learn some shit, I want to see if it works immediately. I want to see if it works. I'm just curious. I was like, okay, that's good advice. Let me immediately go apply that. Immediately. And then to see if it works. But yeah, it can make sense on paper, but like it's different when you see the actual impact of it. And then you get to a place when you see it works, it's like, oh, I can actually take over any kind of social environment that I'm in. For real. Because it's like, for real. People are not good with social skills, man. They just aren't. Oh my God. They don't know what they're doing. So even a little bit goes a long way because most people don't have a conceptual understanding of this stuff at all.
Yeah, I find making the initial spark or the initial contact or conversation starter gets like most people are scared to do it. So as long as you're the one doing it, you're setting the bar.
Right. Like, that's why I always tell people to be the initiator, because most people are open to talking to you. They just don't want to initiate, like you said. So it's like if you can be the initiator, then that's it. That's the whole game. One thing I've not done really is go out alone. I'm not done. Well, I've done that during the day, not at night. I'm not really a night person, but
That's surprising.
I just have never really desired to. I'm not a nightlife person. I'll go out in the day, but like nightlife, I've never resonated with that. Not since I was like early 20s.
Not even a concert? No, I think you said that you didn't.
Nope, 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 nope.
So even if Drake for front row tickets you got for free,
I don't.
going by
I
yourself.
could not. I couldn't care less to see Drake in concert. Couldn't care less, man. It's like I don't. I'm very stimulating myself, but like I don't like a lot of like stimulation externally. Not a whole bunch of it. My inner world is stimulating enough to where it's like a concert would overstimulate me. I've
See,
never
my
been to a
mind can't even
concert
wrap
because
my head
I
around
have
that.
like I
I think
literally
of that like raves.
say it again.
I said my mind can't even wrap the concept of that because like that's me with like a rave. But a
Right.
concert is like easy money.
Yeah, it's different strokes for different folks, but it's like for me, it's like I just don't care. I don't care to see. I don't care about celebrities at all, right? Like if I saw a celebrity like a Denzel, I'm like, hey Denzel, and keep. I'm not like phone out. Oh my god, that's always been weird to me. Like people with their phone out, I'm like, it has no social grace to it. It's almost like I don't want to say loser activity, but it's like that's still a person. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
most definitely.
like
But
empathy. If you were them, you want someone shoving their phone in your face. You know what I mean? Like I've seen like Barack Obama. I've seen celebrities before, and I don't have any pictures, no evidence. It's just all memories. Because I'm just not. I don't want to be that guy. It's like no, no. You're a person. You took a shit today like I did. So, but anyway, yeah. I don't. Nightlife is not my thing. Not my thing at all. I've had clients who come to me very rarely though who because I don't make content about nightlife or night game, but I have had like two clients who were like really fixated on that, and I'm like, I can tell you what to do, bro, but it's really in my bag like that. I've done it like a few times. Like I've taken like one of my first clients out. I've taken him out to show him how it's done, and I showed him like I went up and talked to a bartender, and she was cold, right? She was doing her job. She was cold, and then I would just work the room. I just spread energy around the room, made people laugh. People clocked that I was social, so a group of girls came up like, "Can you take a picture of us?" So I'm like taking a picture of myself, pretend like I'm taking a picture of them. They look at the camera, they're like, "Oh, stop it!" Right? So it's like laughing and joking. The bartender clocks, and I'm a cool guy who's chill with everyone. I go get a drink from her. Now she's joking about like giving me mouth to mouth, right? 180, complete
that's
180.
crazy.
Complete 180 because I know how this shit works. It's not complicated. It's just okay. I know how this works. Let me go in here. I'm just gonna spread vibes to everybody. That's it. And then be playful with everybody. Intentionally show up with a certain type of energy. And then people are going to put me higher in the pecking order because we're social animals and that's how social animals act.
It's so complicated yet so simple at the same time.
It ain't complicated at all. I get why you say that. Meaning like the practice of it probably is hard, but that's really just nervous system shit. What I'm telling you is not hard at all. You go out tonight and you just go and you just talk to people on the way to the venue. I like those shoes, man. Right? Little stuff. I do that on dates. I would talk to strangers on dates because I know Shorty gonna be like impressed.
Same thing. And it's like not even like a I'm trying to impress. It's like a when I'm on the date, and especially like if she's like really really pretty, I feel like I'm in my bag. So like everybody gonna see me in my bag. So it's like you gonna get a
Right.
compliment. You gonna get a compliment.
Right. Right. Exactly. So it's like and impress is the wrong word, but it's like it's just persona shit. It's just you just know you intentionally coming across a certain way. It's like, oh, now you look at me as like a social leader because you just saw me talk to a couple of people here. Not like everybody, but it ain't hard, man. This stuff is not. It seems complicated. I mean, it's complicated when you don't have signal from noise. So people will say it's complicated because they hear what I'm saying, and then they're also factoring in all the other things they've heard. It's easy for me because I eliminate 90% of the shit that I hear because I know it's not important. So they're also being like, you gotta be tall, you gotta dress a certain way, you gotta have money, right? So they're also holding those pieces of advice in their head while listening to me. And they're like, it's too much. And it's like, well, no, it's not too much. It's too much for you because you aren't discerning what advice actually stands the test, holds up to reality, because you're not utilizing any of the advice. You're just downloading it into your head.
Right.
That's the difference with me, with everything, even in business. I just do shit quickly. The most successful people, like, they have a bias towards action. So if you can shorten the timeline between ideation and execution, like, your life changes. So
Yeah.
I learned something. If I read a book or something, I want to go try it right now. Right now, I want to go try it. Like, if I heard this and I were you, I would either go out tonight or tomorrow. I'm like, okay, let me try this. See what happens. Other people are like, oh, they get the dopamine of, like, the insight. They're like, oh, that makes sense. And then they just don't do anything with it. And then life happens and it just becomes deprioritized. And then over time, it becomes as if, like, they never even heard the advice to begin with. You want to make it a part of you fast, and you make it a part of you fast by applying it. Through application, you integrate.
Okay. Well, with that said, I will use that. I'm about to go get some tacos right now, so I'm gonna try to start a conversation with someone.
My man, go do it. Go do it.
All right.
Tell me how it goes, bro.
All right, man.
My man. Yo, CJ. All right, people. If you want to share a 1-hour coaching call, this icon right here, hit that button at the bottom of the screen. Shoot me a message. I'll send you a link to book your call if I can help you. Now, here's the thing, though. Prices are going up next month. First next month, prices are going up. Okay? So I'm going to let y'all know. What are you talking about, Ariana? What's your type? Prices are going across the board. I was doing research today. I was looking at what other people charge. I'm like, ooh, I'm undercharging. Prices are going up, up, up. What Wiz Khalifa say? Up, 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 up. Yes, across the board. So, if you want to get it while it's still moderately priced, I would do what you need to do. Some of you have been waiting to book, which I understand, but if you wait till the first, you will be paying more than what it's currently priced for, okay? Keep that in mind. There's a woman who's up here right now. She has more followers than me. White woman. Of course she has more followers than me. But she charges $500 for her one-on-one hour-long calls. And she's not as competent. So, eventually, that will be our price point. Plus, I have to raise prices anyway because I get too many people booking. So that's what happens when you get a lot of people booking. You got to raise prices just for people who want to learn about how business works. When you have a lot of sales, it's typically a sign that you're undercharging. $500 per hour. I charged $500 per hour when I was a marketing consultant or a strategist. My mentor charges $1,000 per hour, and he has a 3-hour minimum. Charges $1,000 per hour, and so you got minimally pay him $3,000. And the way he finessed it, he was like, because I have to do an hour of prep work, so I got to prepare for the call for an hour. Someone's gonna pay. Yeah, I mean, you're paying for a solution. like business people think differently than people who work 9 to 5s, because people who work 9 to 5s are conditioned to think that their time is worth this money. That's why they say you have to be careful with how you make money, because it becomes addictive. So they think like, my time is worth this. That's not how business owners think. They think, how valuable is this? What I'm selling, how valuable is it? And I charge based off of the value, not the time, right? So it's like, I was talking to a client the other day who had been dealing with her issue for 2 decades. How much do you think solving that problem was worth to her? Actually, answer that in the chat. How much do you think that was worth? You're suffering for 2 decades from a relational issue. How much would you pay for a solution for that? How much is that worth? What do y'all think? $1,000 per hour better be the best convo ever. Yeah, I wouldn't charge $1,000 per hour. But what my mentor did, he worked with businesses. So as a businesses will hire him too, so that they can make more money. So of course he's going to charge like that. But people are so foolish. Even me saying that, they still will probably be like, I'm not paying that. Because depending on where you fall in like the socioeconomic class, you have beliefs that limit you financially, right? So like, what my mentor was doing, he basically was a machine. It's like, you put, like, if you had a machine and they were like, every dollar you put in, you get $5 back. An intelligent person would just keep putting dollars in the machine, right? Because every dollar you get $5 back. Like successful business owners, they don't think about cost. They think about ROI. So it's like, okay, what's the return on investment? As long as I'm making more than what I'm paying you, significantly more, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. As long as I make that relatively quickly, right? Because it's not just a matter of ROI, it's also a matter of like, how fast am I getting that payoff? Do you think people are worried how to explain their problem quick enough to you? No, that's not an issue. We always get to the core of the problem quickly. I don't let people rant too long. I don't let them rant too long. So they don't just get clarity, they also get an action plan. People don't know. They don't know their problem. And there ain't no tools. Like, you can go to ChatGPT, but that's predicated on how well you explain your problem to ChatGPT. All right? You might aren't explaining it the right way. You know what I mean? It doesn't really push back on you. It just accepts whatever premise you had. I told you I had a client who, he told me that he was fearful avoidant. He was like, he's fearful avoidant and his ex is fearful avoidant. And he wanted to get her back. And he talked with 2 other coaches. And I said, wait a second, why do you think you're fearful avoidant? And he told me, and I was like, that's not what fearful avoidant is. I said, did any of the other coaches like clock you on that? He was like, no, they just accepted it. I was like, right, because people are incompetent. I said, you have to get the label right, because that's very important in solving this problem. Things are there's very different tactics to employ based on the attachment styles. So if you and her are not fearful avoidant and you have a fearful avoidant strategy, this shit's going to implode before you know it. Anyway, so that's the situation. So like I said, if you want your 1-hour coaching call, go ahead and book that, because first of next month, price is going up. They're going up. So anyone on the fence, go ahead and knock it out before the price get raised. Okay, what other questions do we have? About anything, really. It could be about dating and relationships or whatever. We can also rant. What are y'all going through right now? Who's ready for Drake Day? I'm ready for Drake Day. I heard at 1 a.m. in Albany. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna try to stay up. Benadryl kicking my ass right now. No calls. Actually, might have a call. Let me see. They may have dropped because I've been ranting for a minute. Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for accepting my call.
Sure.
I have a situation and I'm so anxious about it. I have a boyfriend and I've been with him for 1.5 years. And of recent, I've seen that he's been consuming a lot of like red pill content. And it's making me a bit feel unsafe in the connection that we have. I don't feel like he's changed in his behaviour, but he will make comments here and there. I don't know if it's me being anxious or, it just really makes me upset that if he's going down that route.
Right. What kind of comments is he making?
So on his Instagram reposts, I see things like, "Oh, she's not the prize," and you need to get something out of the women, and all these like red pill, content that I'm seeing, and it's just making me really anxious. Really, and the comments are not helping at all, to be honest, because it's, he hasn't changed in his attitude or anything like that, but it just worries me that if he's going down that route.
How did you discover that he was into red pill content now?
So, my friend who follows him, she saw a repost from him. And then I went on his repost because I don't really check his socials that much because I trust him. And then as I'd gone through his reposts, I just saw loads of red pill content, and it just made me feel really unsafe.
Okay. I mean, what kind of content were you seeing? Just like she's not the prize?
Things about like the man being better than the woman, and what's this guy's name? I can't remember the East African looking guy. This guy, the red pill guy. I don't remember his name, but just lots of different
I know you're talking
things
about the is either Fresh and Fit or like the No Fugazi podcast.
I think it's Fresh and Fit. This guy,
Gotcha.
yes, he's been reposting some of his stuff. Yes, yes, that's it, Myron in the comments.
So you got you a loser. If he's a Myron fan, he's big loser. Loser.
He's reposted. Yeah, he doesn't follow him, thank God.
Okay.
But he's reposted some of his stuff that he said.
Gotcha.
He hasn't changed towards me. I haven't actually gone through his phone or anything. But he'll just make odd comments here and there about things.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, so he makes odd comments. What kind of comments is he making?
So he's made a comment like, women need to, women. What did he say the other day? There's been maybe quite a few. But the one of them that stuck out to me was, where you going dressed like this? Women who, have their, body out, things like that. They look like, hoes and stuff like that. And I don't want people to perceive you the wrong way. So,
And how long have y'all been together?
1.5 years.
And he's never said anything like that before?
No, to be honest.
What were you wearing?
And there's just a little bit of a low-cut top but it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
I don't think it was too bad.
Okay.
I know when it's too bad.
Gotcha. But he didn't. It didn't sound like he was disrespectful with what he was saying. Right? What did he say again? He said that he refers as you don't wear something like that.
As a hoe.
Oh, he said hoe. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I missed that part. All right. So he's making comments now that he hasn't made previously in the relationship.
No.
And you're connecting that with the timeline of him being like watching more of these red pill
Yes.
videos.
Yeah. Another one was women don't bring much to the table.
Okay. How's your relationship been in general?
It's been pretty okay for the most part.
Why just okay?
It's just sort of standard.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say that he's become more controlling or he's become any different way. He's been sweet sometimes. So I'm just a bit unsure.
Okay. What about intimacy?
It's exactly the same, maybe a bit reduced, if anything.
Okay. What's the frequency? Like, what's the week?
I mean, once or twice a week.
Has he complained about that?
Not really. It's all been the same. That's why I'm so confused. That's why I'm thinking maybe am I looking too much into it, or
has he complained about anything?
Sorry?
Has he complained about anything in the relationship?
He's just made a few comments that he's, how can I put it? He does want to get married, but not anytime soon. And just for context, I'm 31, he's 36. So he said he does, but he doesn't want to anytime soon.
And y'all been in a relationship for 1.5 years?
Yes.
How did y'all meet?
So I met him at a bar. He came over and bought me a drink, and we started talking. We took each other's socials. We spoke on and off. This was 2024, and then 2025 we met up, and we liked each other, so we started dating, and we just started dating since then.
Right. Okay. How long ago was his last relationship? Do you know?
His last, I don't remember. I think he said it was like about 5 years or something.
Okay. Do you know how long he was with her?
I think he said 3 years.
Do you know why it ended?
He said, to be honest with you, he was very vague about it. He said she went, it was long distance, she had to go away for work, and then they never sort of like got together again.
Do y'all live together?
No, so we don't live together, we live separately.
Okay. How frequently do you see him?
2 to 3 times a week I see him.
Okay.
So I go over to his, he comes over to mine.
All right. I would just keep an eye on it. If it escalates, maybe a couple of months. If it escalates, and manifests in his behavior, then it might be something that you may want to rethink. Right now, I won't say it's a huge red flag. I would say it's more a yellow flag, because it's not manifesting in his behavior
Right.
at all for the most part.
No, but yeah, I mean, what about the marriage comment?
What was the marriage
Do you
comment
think
again?
that's a red? So he said he's not looking to, get married anytime soon, and obviously I want that. But he said he does. He said it is on the cards to get married, but not anytime soon. So it's like, are you just sort of stringing me along? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is possible. What I've typically said is like have an internal timeline, and if there's no kind of progression made, then you just, you know,
Of
draw a
course.
line in the sand and then see how they act.
Because,
But yeah, I mean, this could be something that just doesn't work out, right? Like you haven't said anything that makes me think that like you are very like into this relationship. I asked you how is it, and you were like it's okay, right? You
yeah,
haven't
I
said
mean, it's
anything to make
okay
me
for
think
what it
that.
is.
But you mean for what it is, but it's like you're talking about marriage, so it's almost like you're just settling into something just to have somebody.
Um, I mean, when we met at first, it was really good, but it's kind of gone into, that sort of like stagnant stage. And I
Right,
just feel like he's in his mind, it's not as if he's in any rush to progress that.
right,
And I think obviously maybe it's my own overthinking, but I've kind of put two and two together and possibly thought maybe he's kind of kept me there, keep stringing me there just to have access to me. And obviously he doesn't like women that much. I don't know. I'm just, thinking about different things in my head.
right, right. I mean, it's up to you, love. I mean, it's up to you on what you want to do. But I mean, I always say that the mistake was always made earlier in the process. You said you met in a bar. The environment that you date in matters. I don't really hear many people saying they met their husband or wife at the bar, right?
Right.
So
I
that's why I always talk about the static environment, right? So that we can actually meet people who are on the same kind of wavelength, have the same kind of desires. Um, but the vibe that I hear from this is just like he probably is using you to pass the time, but then you're probably also using him just to have whatever life you imagine for yourself. There's
right. Okay.
nothing about him that you've described sounds like this is someone that you actually desire strongly to be with. It sounds like you just wanted somebody, so you just chose him because, things were cool at first, but things are always cool at first. Things are always
Yeah.
perfect at first. So it sounds like you just ease into this connection, and now it's like you're in it now,
Mm,
and what are we gonna do? You didn't say, "Oh,
I
I
think
love
it's
when he does this, and I love this about him." It's like it's
yeah.
okay, it's all right. It's like a year in, a year and a half in, it's all right. Ain't a good sign.
Okay.
You're
So
talking almost like y'all been together for 10 years or something. It's been a year and a half.
not yeah, it's been a year and a half. I guess maybe I'm just not happy with everything and I just feel really unsafe at the moment. So I guess maybe I've answered my own question
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so unsafe. I'm not feeling the joy in the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Did that happen before you saw the repost or after?
Definitely after.
Okay,
Definitely after.
that's fair. That's fair. It has you looking at him differently.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, if that's the case, then you should leave because you're not gonna erase this from your memory.
No, it's embedded in my memory, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of him or look at him any different
Mm-hmm.
at this point. So yeah, I should probably leave then.
Mm-hmm. Or
Okay.
you can always show him my content. You know, you can always do that. The
Mm,
reason why I wasn't like harping on um, this being a super big red flag is because you have to understand there are no healthy alternatives for the most part.
okay.
Like for men, when it comes to learning about this world, they either get like the very like beta simp Disney World impression or the red pill.
Okay.
It's one of those two things. Either
Right.
happy wife, happy life, right? They either
Right.
get that messaging, like, oh, sacrifice yourself completely for the woman you're with,
Of
or
course.
go red pill, right? So it's not like
Right.
they don't have a lot of options. And a lot of guys, when they find my content, it's like a breath of fresh air. They're like, oh, this actually makes sense. Like, I didn't see this nuance. I didn't really agree 100% with what I was seeing here, but it's like,
Right.
I didn't. There was no other
Maybe
place.
maybe that's the best solution to show him your content, because this is just a head fuck right now.
Right, right. You get to sleep on it. You don't have to make a decision right now, but it sounds like you're
Yeah.
heading in the direction of like ending things, which might be the right decision, just based on like how you sound right now on the call. Yeah, I guess keep me posted on how it
Okay.
goes. All right.
Thank you so much.
No problem, love.
Honestly.
You take care. All
Thank
right.
you. All right. Thank you.
Red pill. Listen, I saw someone in the chat talking about Myron's the GOAT. Y'all got to grow up, bro. And like, there's red pill creators who like, cool, right? Say Patrice O'Neal. There's other guys. I even have some mutuals up here who are red pill. But you talking about Myron is the GOAT, bro? That's loser shit, bro. I don't know who it was, but that's a big loser shit. It's big loser shit. I'm not even talking about the red. I'm talking about one individual. Because like, you have to understand, and I want to make a video on this, because a lot of the red pill guys are very similar to like the betas. Do you know why? Ty, why do you think that is? Or chat, why do y'all think that is? How are they similar? How are they two sides of the same coin? How are like the beta simp Disney World guys very similar to the red pill guys? Wealthy VIP got it. Wealthy VIP got it. And Hannah got it. So Wealthy VIP and Hannah both got it. They're centering the female, and Hannah said they are still orienting themselves around the perception of women. 100%. They are both reactive. They're both reactive. They're both. I remember I was on Twitter. And I was like, you know how miserable you got to be to get online and just complain about women all day? How much of a loser you have to be? Just get online and just complain about women all day long. That's corny as. And that's not to say that there's nothing to complain about, because women do have problems. Oh no, absolutely they do. But it's like, to get online and complain about it all day, emotionally, like yelling in a microphone, complaining about it all day, is loser. Why does it bother you that much? That's loser shit. Loser shit. You're still orienting your entire existence around women. You claim to not like them, but it's still what you think about all the time. They still dominate your thoughts. You're just thinking about them in the other extreme. So like the beta simp is thinking about them like positively, like they're pedestalizing them. The like red pill guy is thinking about them negatively, but they're still dominating their thoughts. It's rage bait for incel followers. Yeah, I get it. But come on, man. That shit is just, oh my God, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. They're lacking purpose. 100%, bro. 100%. So, they ain't even a knock towards the red pill. That's just one individual and people like him. So when I see big fans of people like that, I'm like, I don't understand, bro. That's lame. Because a lot of those guys who are like incels, they have a revenge fantasy. They have a revenge fantasy. So they want to see, because they were never chosen, they want to see the women who never chose them like get theirs. Like, nothing makes them happier than like to see a woman hit the wall and to not have any kind of romantic options. That's still loser shit, man. It's loser shit. I don't know. Bring her down notches. Right, right. Like he'll never. It was like the Kevin Samuels stuff. Like Kevin Samuels held both sides accountable. By the way, I don't agree with everything Kevin Samuels said. I agree with like 70% of what he said. But he held both accountable. So I rock with that. I try to do the same. But when he would talk about women, like the guys, like, yeah, get him, get her, Kev, get her, Kev. It's like, yo, what? Ay, ay, ay. I've experienced a few men like this, so confusing why they do that. Like, who has the time? Right. That's why I told guys on the previous live. I was like, the competitive advantage now is just to be normal. Just be normal. Just be normal. I don't know why people get caught up on those reposts though. People do get caught up on reposts all the time. What are you reposting for? I can't remember the last time I reposted some shit. For what? I think I was talking to Danny about that, and it was like, who they are is in the reposts, brother. And I'm like, you're right. I don't care to look through it though, to be honest with you. But I'm not going through nobody's reposts. I don't give a fuck. But the truth is in there, for sure. Or like the likes on Instagram. People love telling themselves all the time, bro. Look at the likes on Instagram. Like, you click on IG reel, and then you can see like your friends in the right column. You can see like what they like. Very revealing. Very revealing. Very revealing. I was talking to a client recently. Was it a client? I think so. Client talking about how he went through his girl's reposts, and she was like reposting things about missing the ex and the one that got away. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't advise people to do it because it's like, again, you're not going to be happy with what you find. So just the same way, like if you have the ability to read somebody's mind, you shouldn't do it because you're going to find shit you don't like in there. People have fantasies of other people, right? They don't want the fantasy to be ruined. Or repost on IG. No, TikTok, and I think Twitter. Those Twitter likes used to be really revealing. Those Twitter lights used to be really revealing. I remember a dude went through my lights and once said a man needs to like a woman more than she likes him. Right. He got mad about that. I'm assuming he got mad about that. All apps have reposts at this point. I don't see how people get on Instagram. I be seeing people like shit on Instagram. I'm like, why are you just not on TikTok? That argument lasted forever. Yeah, man. People just make mountains out of molehills. I was talking to a client today. A client today, he made a PowerPoint presentation for our call. I was like taken aback. I was like, with pictures and everything. I was like, all right. And like he had like pictures of like the girl he's seen, like her IG. And I was like, what's going on here? It was like pictures of her IG. So his main issue was she had male friends, right? Guys hate male friends. But you gotta kind of have like a balanced perspective on it. What's up, Danny?
What's up?
So
Yeah.
she had male friends and she was still friends with like two of her exes. And I was like, you probably need, and like she opened the conversation. They're long distance. They've been dating since November. They've only been on 3 days. And she like brought to the table like, oh, a lot of my exes have hated that I've had male friends. And as like to get ahead of it. So there's no issue, right? So he showed like some sort of discomfort with it, and then she started crying. I was like, get out of there, bro. Get out of there. You're being heavily manipulated. Just go ahead and leave. One of her...
Call an extraction team immediately.
Right. Just go ahead and get out of there, bro.
Yeah.
You're being. I promise you, you've been manipulated.
Yeah. These days, you don't even have to dig anymore. Instagram and TikTok and them, they'll just push it to your feed. You just kind of see in the corner that they reposted something.
Right.
And you're like, oh, that's what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to do the digging anymore. They just kind of telling themselves, and it just pops up in your face.
Right. I don't see a lot of that, man. I guess the women that I've talked to don't really repost like that, but probably a bit more thoughtful. I don't like. It's silly to me because it's like, why? For one, a lot of women just don't get that they're being assessed by what they post on social media.
Yeah.
Some of them like don't think that should matter, and they think that them not thinking that it should matter actually changes reality for some reason.
Like a projection on expectations and stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm definitely judging by what you post on social media for sure. I may not go digging, but
right.
Yeah,
When you
I'm
see
judging.
you can't unsee it, right? Like
Right.
It just kind of becomes probable cause
Mm-hmm.
to get out of there. Probably stage 2 thinking too. They're just kind of coming out from their pains without resolving them, so they're just kind of hitting that repost button when they resonate with something immediately without thinking about what that communicates about them to the public.
You don't get it, man. I've seen like I'll tell clients like you want to look out for women who need a lot of attention. I had a thought today that a lot of women sacrifice being cherished for attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what they really want to be is cherished, but they'll settle for attention because it's faster and cheaper. But they sacrifice the potential future of being cherished because of it. So it's a big red flag for a woman to need like a lot of attention from anyone, right? So if you're looking on social media and she's just growing her social media for no reason, take it with a grain of salt. But you know people like that. Like I've seen women up here, there's no link in their bio. They're not trying to make money or build a business. They're just posting, right? And then they'll like they'll post and then they'll make a story post and then they'll hide the post and be like, new post. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You're like teasing that you have a new post that's just you. Who the fuck cares? Why do you need attention that bad? Why do you need attention that bad? That's
Like
a
new
immediate.
content coming up
That
on
shit
their
gives me
story.
the ick, bro. It's immediate turn off.
Mm-hmm.
New post, go like, show support. What am I supporting? You're not doing anything. It's just you. You're not doing anything. Anyway,
Throwing that ass again. No surprise.
just throwing that ass again. So yeah, that attention. I said before, like attention is women's Achilles heel. Like lust is men's Achilles heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you get annoyed with a man who's very lustful, then we get annoyed with a woman who needs a lot of attention.
Yeah. Very true.
That's where a lot of those complaints come from. Like with Shorty who was just on the call, like, oh, can you dress differently, right? Because it's like sometimes you'll find a woman who's dressing a certain way because she wants more attention.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Can be a little annoying. But yeah, I just came in to drop that little snippet. At least that's how I've discovered things in the past. But I think I'm kind of working on a new boundary outside of people I meet on social media, but not adding people on social media that I'm dating. So
How's
it
that?
becomes something serious. You know.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think that space kind of helps a bit. You just kind of focus on the dating and you discern just based on that. It might help to have them on social media, but
You don't trust that you won't be able to fight the urge of looking at their reposts?
might kill the vibe. Something that I'm thinking about. It might not be a necessary guardrail. There's probably better boundaries and stuff to consider than the social media stuff. But
I mean, I think that's smart. You got to engineer your environment, right? It's like if you want to lose weight, maybe don't buy the Twinkies, right? Maybe like keep them out of the house, right? So you engineer your environment in a way that matches your goal. I don't really have that issue. Like I don't feel the need to go through somebody's repost. That's not even a thought. Till you like kind of said it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But like that's not even a thought. I don't care. But I do acknowledge that if you were to go through them, you get a lot of data, and social media itself gives you a lot of data as well. Like you see a woman, she posts something, there's like a lot of dudes comment, she's like responding to all the guys.
That is true.
Like it's responding
Yeah.
to everyone. It's like,
Yeah, I'd rather know that before I like someone. It's kind of the best time to make that call.
right.
You know,
Right,
it's like just like a soft check on what you're signing up for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's something we don't acknowledge is like when you spend a lot of time in proximity around someone, or if you sleep with someone enough, you're gonna develop feelings and attachment for them. That's inevitable. It's like it's in your human nature to do that. So it's important not to overinvest that kind of time and intimacy into the wrong people. You know. kind
Yeah.
of-
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was telling you the other day, like, you just orient yourself towards like tier one,
Yeah.
right? So orient yourself towards like tier one connections. That's how I move. Like I'm only oriented towards tier one. I only entertain tier one connections. If I feel like it's not tier one, I don't even give it the time of day. I'm like very selective. So
Yeah.
I'm selective on the front end. I don't need like to like date a whole bunch of people and then like kind of filter through. It's like nah, it's hard to get past the initial
gotcha.
gate with me. So you kind of eliminate a lot of those problems when it's like tier one. I mean, there's certain things that there are certain like patterns like that women who don't really have that same itch employ, right? Like private accounts. It's a possible green flag. I'm not saying they have to have a private account. But if I see you're not promoting a business or anything, but you're like heavily pushing social media, like on a dating app contest, right? You'll see a dating app and then women will have like their Instagram handle on their profile. I'm
Right.
automatically not entertaining you.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Mm-hmm.
It's lame as shit. You're that thirsty? That's all I hear is thirst. It just seems thirsty. You're that thirsty for followers. Your content is that trash. And you're that thirsty for followers that you're using a dating app as a funnel. Because you're only funneling men to it.
Yeah.
So it's
Probably
just
only making
weird.
probably making like $5 a month on OnlyFans. The huge,
Oh my god,
you know,
bro.
just weak content. Just needs easy attention. I feel you on that.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's like I still think that social media is a viable path to meet people though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told people, like this live is a static environment, right? So it's like you see the same people here. So technically, checks the box of a static environment. Now there's certain things you gotta think about. I won't say it, but you know, certain
Right.
things you gotta consider
Considerations.
You know.
we've discussed for sure.
contextually. But I mean, it's technically a static environment. So it's like, all right, yeah, a digital static environment. So yeah, so I think social media is a good place to. It's better than if you need a digital strategy. It's better than dating apps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my
I've
God.
I've grown to like social media. I've been neglecting my Instagram, but been giving TikTok a bit more attention, and I'm glad I have for sure.
The Instagram play is amazing. I think TikTok is effective as well, but the Instagram play is very simple, very easy. Like I had a client, like I told him the Instagram strategy, and he was doing a lot of cold approach, and he would have to drive. He lives in the country, so he would drive an hour to get to like the city. Okay, Maya says I met a likable young man on here on TikTok or on in the live. He was driving an hour to do cold approach, and I was like, "Why are you driving an hour to do cold approach?" I'm like, "Just use IG." He like Latinas. I'm like, man, just fucking any spot that has like fajitas.
Yeah.
Just fucking salsa, bachata, all that kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Well,
find those
fine, yeah.
spots, find the Instagram of the venue, and then just
Some hot Cheetos. I mean,
Just
you
add.
got it.
add them. Just add. Do like 20 a day. Add like 20 a day. And then if they don't follow you back within like 1 or 3 days, then unfollow them, but then go through their friends list. And
Mhm.
add them. Add the fine friends, because it's like she didn't want you, right? So
They're
it's like,
toxic enough; they won't mind.
right, just add the fine friends. A follow back on IG, assuming they don't follow everyone. A follow back on IG is like it's a green light, right?
Right.
Especially if like you look at the follower to following ratio and she not following a whole bunch of people, so it's like okay, she intentionally followed you, cool.
Hmm.
And now let's go ahead and shoot. And he was like, bro, that's actually. I followed up with him. He was like, that's actually been very effective. He's like, I haven't, because I told him to also post him the story. Because then you kind of like prime. You post him the story. So posting your story, he owned a business, trains dogs. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So you're on a gold mine right now. You train dogs, and you don't post about it on your personal Instagram. Why not? Post about the fucking dogs. That's like candy. Anyway, he's like, bro, I was posting my stories, and he was like, they just warm up and message. He was like, it's actually very effective. Right. Yes, it's not hard. So I was telling CJ earlier, I'm like, this shit isn't hard. You just need a strategy. Um, but like that's kind of where I'm steering my stuff is like, yeah, you could talk about like code approach and stuff like that. It builds masculinity, sure, but also there's a place for like just strategy.
Hmm.
So how do we turn this uphill battle to a downhill battle?
Right. Pick the path of least resistance.
At times, there's times where shit needs to be hard, but
Sure.
with this, it's like why make it harder than it needs to be? Like just use the Instagram strategy. It's gonna work. Remember, he was like he was telling me. I first talked to him. He was like he posts himself on dates with women. I was like, why do you do that? He's like, oh, because women like when they see you with other women. I'm like, no, they don't. That's a level. That's a stage one woman. You gotta stop
Yeah.
thinking about like women in general and think about like their development. That's a stage one woman for one. For two, the better play would be to imply that you were on a date, not to show any evidence. So like if you're getting the cocktails, like take a picture and show both of the drinks on the table. Let the imagination do the work. Plausible deniability. You don't need to. No, you're posting the Latinas. What are you doing?
Crazy work.
Why are you posting them? Don't post them. You're hustling backwards. Anyway, it's very interesting. I was working with him like because I can already tell you a deeper problem. I'm like, oh, you're seeking validation from these women. That's why you want to date so many of them. So I would help him date more while also planting seeds of like, this shit ain't gonna make you happy.
Right.
All right, like you're doing this because you're trying to get external supply. So be mindful about that. You'll notice that too when you start like coaching more. It's like some people that you kind of get a gauge for where they're at and what they'll be receptive to. And you want to give them like the real deal, but it's like you might have to hold back a little bit because they're not ready to hear it.
Okay. That's good to know. For future coaching.
It's
Keep that in
annoying.
mind.
It's annoying though because you want to just give them everything. It's almost like
Yeah.
if you're like a parent, like you can't, you know, you want to overwhelm. You want to meet them where they are.
Hmm.
But sometimes I have to fight the urge of just like giving away the entire playbook. Like here's your problem. This is what you're going to struggle with. Here's your next like bottleneck. Here's the next thing that's going to block you. Here's where this ends up if you keep going down this path. And it's like it's just too much. Like just kind of give them a little bit, and then hope that they kind of come to their own conclusions.
Right. Right. Baby steps. Little baby steps with them.
Yeah, but some others are more receptive to like the full package. I think someone said it in the chat. Someone said, "Nah, I need that." So what's his name? Manders. Manders said, "Give me everything up front." Yeah, it's like when you give people everything up front, Manders. It's like it doesn't. Not everything sticks.
I feel like some people say that, and then you give it to them, and then they start crying. And you're like, oh, you were, you did not know, you didn't need all that all at once.
Because they can't hold all that information, because to integrate it, they have to apply it, right? So they can't apply all of that at once. So you give them the next thing to apply, and
Like
then
a matchmaker just added me.
a matchmaker.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I was being distracted. I was about to say the name, but I don't want my furniture to float, so I'll leave it alone.
I have too many questions from microdoses of anything. I need the bigger picture. I hear that, Super. I think like your intellect may be moving past your embodiment though. It's like you want the
That's kind of one of my biggest edges, is sometimes my mind moves ahead of my capacity. So a lot of it is just executing on what I've learned and being patient with myself, you know.
where
It's
you
fun
think where you
to
think your
learn.
next growth phase is.
I feel like I have to do a lot of work on surrendering. Something we've talked about a few times when I've called in is just that art of surrendering to the things that are out of my control, not trying to analyze or understand every scenario, knowing when it is just not in my control.
Right.
Um,
It's big, man. It's
yeah.
big. That is a game changer. Like for me, it's like it's containment. You know what I mean? It's still focusing on containing, because I'm very expressive,
Yeah.
and I think through talking, but it's like they can't be your default setting, essentially.
Right. Right.
Can't be your default setting. There's a time and a place for things. Sometimes I'll say things to people in the chat here. I'm like, why did I say that? And I'll just be like into like expression mode, and it's like, containment. I was talking to a client the other day who was anxiously attached, who was like just doing everything. I'm like, you have to stop. Like, you need to pace this connection. You're doing everything for this woman. I'm not saying you're not going to get to that place, but you're doing it too fast. Sometimes, like, you just meeting and talking to a woman, you shouldn't be trying to solve all her problems right now. Like,
Right.
pace it. They're not at that stage yet, right? Same thing with women. You want to like start being a wife immediately and like cooking meals and all this other kind of shit. It's like, pace it. It's doing too much. It's
Yeah.
doing too much. So like,
They see someone they like, and they just because you like them, they feel like that helping or offering support in materialistic ways is the right move, but it could be too much.
well, here's the thing with anxious attachers, right? They'll do that because they think they're trying to earn love. But here's what they set themselves up for. Now they feel entitled to that same treatment.
The covert contract.
Right. So it's
Yeah,
like, now
makes
I
sense.
done did all of this, and it's like, you're not giving me back what I gave you. Yeah, because they're pacing. You're not pacing, right? And now you're
Right.
mad at them for not putting the same amount of energy that you put in, and you put all that energy into to ensure they wouldn't leave.
Right.
I made that mistake. I used to think that the biggest value I added to connections, even in friendships, is utility. So like I've noticed that I wouldn't just be. I had to add some sort of value. I had to give them insight. I had to solve some sort of problem, right? There needed to be some value I had to give to the connection because I have to earn my spot here. And that's what I've worked on, is like, no, just be. You gotta do all that. You gotta do all that,
Yeah.
right? Your presence is
Yeah.
enough.
That's something that I was telling you the other day. It's like that, learning how to acknowledge or sit beside someone and not trying to be their answer or give them what you think they need in those moments, like acknowledging someone's situation and trusting they'll have a handle on it as long as they feel seen.
It will make you feel salty too, because I remember I have a homeboy who makes films. I told him this too, because he makes films and he would call me like he appreciates my strategic mind. So even though I don't make films, he like calls me to help him think through things. And I do. I love him. But like he had like a film premiere, and like he was thanking people, and I didn't get a thank you. I remember feeling a little bit salty about that because I'm like, motherfucker, you know how much time I'm gonna spend helping you figure this shit out, and you're thinking like a mutual friend of ours, and he's not done the same type of I can point to the value that I've added to this, and the results you're getting being tied directly back to what I told you to do. Right. But then I had to catch myself. I'm like, that shouldn't matter. So I talked to him about it, and he was like, my bad, bro. It was like, you're right though. Like I should have.
Sometimes it's just like a not even being aware or an accident. It's not always malicious.
Right, but it's that whole thing like you're trying to earn the spot, but then you start like unintentionally keeping score.
Yeah. There's a bit of a line on that. You know, it can be okay to expect some gratitude for things. Like if he asked you and you're giving it to him, I can understand wanting at least a thank you for that. I feel like it makes a little sense in that situation. I think it's when people volunteer, like you hear a friend talking about an issue, they don't ask you for help on the issue, they're just talking about it, but you volunteer yourself into that. Then as it progresses, you expect a sense of reciprocation or some sort of transaction out of it, maybe unconsciously, maybe consciously, but then you start to get frustrated when you're not getting what you're expecting out of it down the ladder. Is what I think what I kind of had in mind for that example.
Mom always told me if you ask questions, that means you're willing to help. Possibly. Yeah, so that's why I try to help clients with too. It's just that idea of like containment. It's like you don't have to jump in. I was talking to a client yesterday. I like him. We're talking again tomorrow. But like his issue, he's like high capacity anxious attacher. I was talking to him the other day, and he didn't really resonate with like the clinginess of anxious. He knew he was anxiously attached, but he didn't resonate with like some of the traits. He was like, well, I don't really control like that. Like I don't really try to control them. Like I kind of just fall back. And I said, but you are though. He was like, how? I said, because you're smart. You're smart, so you know chasing doesn't work. So you don't chase. But you not chasing is still your strategy to control the situation. Because you know not chasing is likely to work.
Right.
And he was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah. It's subtle. It's still control, but you're just leveraging your intelligence. Right?
Right.
So it still can get like really like nuanced and interesting. Because with him it was like we had to work on like with him it's like I'm like you're not anxious to the point where the way your anxious attachment is manifesting is strongly influencing who you choose because you're feeling the anxiety and then choosing the people you feel strongly about, which is that anxiety is the red flag. So it is selecting the people who you are romantically involved with, and it is causing you to stay too long in the connections. So I said, really, for you, if you just chose a person who just did not make you anxious, this solves the problem. You don't really have to directly work on your anxious attachment like that. Then I also had to tell him about like this whole idea of like not masculine container, but vulnerability and stuff like that. He was in a situation where I think with his fiance, it was like a pet died or something like that, and like she cried and everything about it, but then like he wanted to emote and express himself, and she won't try to hear it because she's avoiding, right? And he was like, you don't want me to express myself, and I was like, that ain't our role, brother. Like, you can obviously have emotions, time and a place, but it's not for you to go to your girl and just like start talking about how hurt you are.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't have that luxury.
No, not at all. We got to find other outlets for that.
Right.
We have to find an outlet, but can't be with the lady.
No, it's gonna mess polarity up there. It's gonna see you differently. So, Maya, I'm on her side. Yeah, I was like, yeah, we don't need to do that, bro. I said, you can pack like that was like more of a nuanced thing I've said on TikTok. Like you can be vulnerable with your lady, you just have to package it in strength. So like, let's say you lost your job. You don't want to be like, what we gonna do, babe? I lost my job. I'm just so stressed. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's the wrong way because now that anxiety is going on her, and now she's stressed out. Better approach is, yeah, lost my job. It was tough working through it, but I got a plan, right? So you're like being vulnerable still showing, acknowledging that you're stressed, but you have a plan.
Yeah.
You got a plan. You're gonna handle it, right? You can even get her feedback on the plan, what ideas she has, but like she needs to feel that you got it under control because else she's going to freak out and then she's going to try to get it under control. And she's going to resent you for putting her in the place of having to get it under control. You see what I'm saying? So, but I was telling him, like, I understand why you did that because, like, we're not ever taught that. We're taught, like, the toxic version of it, like, pretend, just be stoic and have no emotion.
Right. And you have other people that are like, no, express your, no, be emotional with your girl, and that's like, oh, you know.
Bro, the amount of guys who comment on my shit being just complete bitches, it just annoys the fuck out of me, man. I'm like, I hate to side with the women. Where are the men going? That shit's so fucking annoying. I'll make a video on a guy where I just give up. I'm like, I didn't even say nothing hard, bro. Like, this video is not a hard thing. You're giving up that easily? Like, Jesus, your father would be ashamed of you. It just gets on my nerves.
There are some words we just gotta bring back. We lost some quality words to describe that behavior, and
From the wokeness.
we gotta bring them back.
Bro, it is so sickening to me because I'm like, bro, I can tell you don't have a dad at home. I can tell just by your response. There's no way you're this weak. There's no way you're this weak. Like if I told them like what I just told you about vulnerability, that ain't hard.
Right.
They resent that they have to do it though.
Right. It plays into that fantasy that they should be accepted for who they are. Like,
yes.
You know, that they don't have to bring something to the table. They should just get what they want.
Yeah, a lot of guys are trying to get mommy's love from their girlfriend or wife. Mm-hmm. They want that unconditional love from a romantic container, and it don't work that way.
Yeah,
it's a different dynamic. Why do I have to? Like, it's interesting. Why do I have to do anything? That's pretty much their premise. Why do I have to do anything? And like, what? How do you think you'll get anybody? You're not offering anything. There's no value to being with you.
Mm-hmm. CJ. You got me fucked up, see?
I'm scared of people who use you as a rebound to forget their past breakups, and you'll never know. You'll never know. I'll know. I'll know. Just look at like how long they've been single. That's like, you want to know if you a rebound? How long have you been single? I've been single for a year. How long was your last relationship? 8 years. You're the rebound.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. It's a timing thing. Why do y'all think I always ask about the timeline? The timeline tells you everything. You get so much data from the timeline. Okay, just lay everything out. When was your last relationship? How much were you single? I'm getting 100 bits of data just off of the timeline alone. Y'all don't think about this kind of stuff though. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm not gonna be a rebound because I'm gonna look at that timeline. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna see how fast you're trying to move also.
Yeah.
I do not follow up long relationships, marriages. There's nothing wrong with following up long relationships, marriages. It's a matter of like how much time has passed since, and then more importantly, what did they learn from that situation? What did they learn outside of like my ex was a narcissist? That's a red flag. Someone throws my ex was a narcissist to me. Like, yeah, it's true sometimes, but most of the time, no.
What's it, like 7% of the population's
very small percent. People will be like, well, it's not. There are some that are undiagnosed, fair, but yeah, it's like because they'll look at narcissistic traits and then connect that to narcissistic personality disorder. Two different things. So they'll look at like the traits of narcissism, and then they'll see someone with a trait or two, and then they'll be like, he's a narcissist. Mm-mm. There was one woman who called in who I was like, oh, he was a narcissist. And there was like the woman who, like, every time she picked up her child, the father would go and record her smiling. And like he kept suing her. He sued her over like a broken heart. Just making her pay like the fees, the lawyer fees. He kept suing her. Just to stick it to her. Just to stick it to her, right? Oh, he has a personality disorder. That's certainly not normal behavior. But these other, like, he was mean to me. Okay, well, that's just someone who was just mean to you. That ain't not telling me much there.
Right. Very true. It's about 11, so I gotta get to bed.
Go ahead, brother. I'm about to hop off too. It's Drake night, so I'm about to get off as well. All right, D Money. All right, people. Like Danny said, I'm about to get off as well. If you want your culture call, this icon right here, hit the button at the bottom of the screen. Shoot me a message. I'll send you a link to book your call if I can help you. Be advised, prices are going up next month across the board. Okay, so you've been sucking your thumb on this, waffling on it. Now is the time, because prices are going up at the beginning of next month. Okay, so till next time, folks. I'll holler.